South side of the tower.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm gonna FaceTime
Yeah,
John.
they want to be 35. Oh, yeah. Then we did sit-ups and full body gear, the logs, and carry the logs from power to the big side building.
Y'all got Captain Blunt, when we like that, but he be on a lot of military duty, so the last contract was like.
He got it, man.
I mean, he don't, he got cars, at least not that much.
Yeah, so we was out there doing push-ups, sit-ups, burpees, all kinds of stuff in our full suits.
And you got men out there, you know, you really go back.
One of the hottest summer days.
You know what I mean?
Hey, you on the rig? Hey, well, introduce yourself, and if you can call back, FaceTime me back.
Oh, he on the rig.
I said, just introduce yourself, and if you can FaceTime me back, FaceTime me back.
They want to get fuel, or they go to the store?
You got a nipple on your chin.
Anyway, I said, just introduce yourself, and I'll, you can call back when you get back to
Why
the
y'all so
station.
close to the phone?
All right, what'd you say? What'd you say? Don't laugh too hard, you can't read that. John's gonna call back when he gets back, so what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll introduce ourselves, then you guys can introduce yourselves, and then we'll just get started. It's real informal, and just to tell you about what to expect in training, because unfortunately this is the type of job where if you get a bad name from the jump, you can outwork it and get a good name, but you're gonna have to work extra hard, because your name will follow you everywhere you go. But I wanna start with Chief. He can introduce himself.
I'm Bill Johnson. I spent 38 years and 9 months on the job, so it was a great job, and I'd like to welcome you guys to the firefighting fraternity, and you're gonna see some things, you're gonna hear some things that, you know, one of the things when you get into the Indian House, I'll get into that a little later on in the discussion. What happens in the Indian House stays in the Indian House. You're gonna have guys out there that's gonna make parakeets out of it, try to feed you little stuff, so you would take it to the next Indian House and start talking about it. One of the things that you gotta remember, when you're in training, you gotta follow what the training officer really expounds to you. I spent 9 years in training, so I saw a lot of guys come through training. So I won't bore you with anything right now, just go ahead and introduce all of the guys. That's all.
You can sit down. I'm firefighter Jason Gentry. I've been on 9 years. Been a part of the Black Firefighter Association the whole time. They're the ones that helped me get hired. So they actually helped, I think, all of us, and most of us, except for one.
They didn't like my tattoos.
No, we didn't go about it. Because the thing is, we have to, you know, we find applicants because they don't give them to us, we don't know. So we didn't find back into the end. But strong brother, good memory. So that's what we're here for, because somebody reached out and helped us get to the point where you guys are at. So we just all here giving back. But go ahead, Torrance.
Oh, I'm firefighter Whitaker. Me and CA came on together. So it's been almost 4 years before you began working for us, so I'm not a spring chicken, so I'm breaking down. But yeah, so it's been a good experience. I think everyone's really good. So just make sure y'all pay attention to everything that goes on. Keep your mouth closed and your ears open. Make sure you work hard so they don't put your name on the list. So here's my shit. Get into the end, get your career, but if you fuck up, they gonna hear about it. They gonna carry on to the end of your career. So that's about it. Firefighter Billy, just basically work hard and everything on social media, don't post on it until we get back. Second to do it. Don't get that.
Congratulations.
Don't get that tattoos. I really got some time on it.
Steve.
I'm a firefighter, paramedic, Steve Taylor, so I've been on for almost 3 years now. So, just like you were saying, just make sure you're on your toes. Understand that, you know, you do represent yourselves individually, but we represent each other as a whole. You know, for everything that has gone on as far as Gentry being hired and everybody else before me, they helped make the path for us. And so understand that yes, you are individuals, but it's the whole. Be respectful. Understand this is an opportunity for actually the people that are going to come after you as well. So check your egos at the door. Okay.
Darren?
I'm firefighter, Darren Samuel. Been about a year till today that we started Academy. So, just make sure you guys look out for each other while you're in there. And that's about it. That's all I got for you.
So we start our Julius here, same with him in class. Same he said, look out for each other. The thing I've noticed is teamwork and group effort is, come a long way, more than a long way. We can do almost everything. So, I'll give y'all my numbers after this, and any additional questions, feel free to holler.
Fire apparatus engineer, Rashad Vegas, been on 8 years, 2013-1. Got at 21, 34 names, been down there almost all my career. Best job on planet. Everybody knows what they're trying to do. Once you join, make sure you cherish this job. Reach out if you have any questions, concerns, anybody's willing to help you out. So, work hard, have fun.
And that's everybody. So, hey, Dre, my boy, we gotta work together yesterday. I'm messing with you.
But I'm a firefighter in Ron, under Newfield. Y'all call me Dre, but out there, I would call me Ron. It's easier. I have to explain where it all comes from, whatever. Then, but yeah, I've been on 9 years. Signed at Station 61 out there in 111 this is the best job ever. As far as schedule, the time to get off, the time to do other things, you get a lot of time to play with your kids, you have days off to go do other things. It's a great job, cherish it, don't be too complacent. Always say to like they said, if y'all ever got any questions, I'm sure we'll reach out to you, whatever. Put something there, we'll reach out to you.
Okay. This is John Farmer. John Farmer is the president of the Black Firefighters Association. So, John, I don't know if you can see everybody, but they can see you.
Yeah, hopefully they can hear me. Alright, guys. I was actually on my way up, get the fire alarm. Had to do a few things, make sure this apartment wasn't on fire, so that's why I didn't make it up. First off, I just want to say congratulations, guys. You went through all the testing process, everything process. You should be proud of yourself because a lot of people apply, a few people are chosen. It's a real honor that you can be chosen for this department. Congratulate you guys on that. Now the real work begins. Like I said, everybody, you guys already know me. I'm just giving my introduction. John Farmer, Captain Engine 43. Hopefully I'll get one of you guys on my crew. But now the real work begins. Never stop learning. And just give us a call if you need anything. This academy and everything you're going through is nothing you can't get through. You're in good hands with us. You got any questions, make sure you give us a call. And you guys know us. We work with everyone. But if you got any questions for me, you got my number. You can call Jason, get my number. Just reach out if it's something minor. I'm kind of rushing through this because I got to talk to my chief. He just pulled in. But welcome to the job, and you're in good hands with these brothers. Just getting ready to talk to you today. So, congratulations, guys. I'll be around. I'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you, brother. Have a quiet day.
Man, it's not starting off that way.
I like your mustache.
CJ likes your mustache. He probably has your calendar.
There you go.
All right, brother.
Like a tattoo.
He said he liked your tattoo.
Liar.
All right, Again, it's gonna be real informal. We'll probably be bouncing around because everybody's gonna like chime in with things that they went through, you know, things that they might remember that I don't remember and so forth. So it's not as formal. If you got a question, you want to know anything, you know, pop out with it. The one thing I do want to start off with is just letting you know that you guys really did just become part of a brotherhood, and it's a.
Gentlemen get a chance to stand up and introduce themselves before you start your spiel.
On the job, when you ain't been on long, we call it no smoke. He ain't got no smoke, so we don't care what he said. But no, he's right. Can you guys stand up and introduce yourself? Thank you.
Good.
Well, good afternoon or good morning. My name is Aaron Bishop. I'm glad to be a part of the family. It's been an interesting journey. I'm looking forward to working with all the brothers and the rest of the team. So, again, my name is Aaron Bishop.
My name is Thurman Bozan. Same thing with me. I'm excited to be a part of this. I've been doing that for about 4.5 years now. Heard a lot of good things about the fire department. Everybody that was telling me, that I was telling that I got on, they was all telling me it's the best job ever. Burning your resume, you'll never go anywhere else. And I'm excited about the opportunity as well.
Jerry Davis, I've met a lot of you brothers before. It's been an interesting journey, been about 4.5 years. I can't say that at a call that we got, I wasn't surprised, because I definitely wasn't. I was expecting to have to apply again. So it's gonna be a dream come true. You know? So once again, Jerry Davis, thank you guys for helping us out.
John Sanders, yeah, I've been trying to get on for about 5-6 years and stuff, so just ready for the opportunity. Can't wait to join Brotherhood.
Oh, y'all from here?
I'm from Chicago.
I'm from South Carolina.
My name is Vernon Johnson. I've been doing it for about 4 years, I think. About 4. Yeah, like you said, I was shocked about the call, but I was happy. So, and that's my grandpa.
All right, now.
Is it okay with you, Tori?
It's all right, Tori? What I was gonna say is you guys have become a part of a brotherhood that for real life is family. As you can see, Chief Johnson is retired and he still cares about everybody that's on, and he's been going for a while, but it still matters to him because it's a brotherhood. I tell people a story. When I went to Kansas City one time, I rode the fun, and the guy on the roller coaster in front of me has a KCFD tattoo. And I'm like, hey, you the fire department? Yeah, it's out of Omaha. We're best friends the rest of the trip. Like, it's real life. It's a brotherhood everywhere you go. So treat it like that. So everything we teach you, we tell you about is definitely going to be from a minority perspective, but we don't want you to go in there feeling like it's us against them. The white guys, the white women, the Hispanic guys, y'all all are a brotherhood. There's also a brotherhood within us, but it's not about us versus them. It's about getting through it together. We had a mantra in training that said, one team, one fight. And that's what it really is, because at the end of the day, these are the people that your life is going to be in their hands when you go into a fight. So welcome to the brotherhood, embrace it, and always look out for each other as a class, and each other specifically as, brother on the job. But does anybody want to start with what to expect day one? Yeah. Julius, Darren, y'all want to come up? Can y'all stand up front, please? That way you reach on the camera. No, it is for the camera. Please, Julius. Come on, brother. And I ask that respectfully, Julius. Because Julius don't play.
First day.
First day was when the mayor, everybody came in. Fire chief, everybody came in just to welcome you to the department. You be in suit, you walking there, not just like
Wear the same suit if you need to.
That's about it. They'll sit you down, you go through, get your package, go through most of the stuff that they'll have for you, like as far as expectations, and throughout that first week, you'll have different, pieces of the department, people come in, insurance, different things like that, signing packages, you do a lot of paperwork the first few days. Always, like I said, someone walk in, kind of how they had us do it. If your captain was already, there was already a captain status in there, ranking of a captain that was already in there, and another captain walk in, you can stay seated. But if a chief, someone superior, higher than the captain, or they're ranking, like the chief comes in, while the captain's in, then you stand up again. Sometimes they give you that, sit down or whatever, keep paying attention, keep going. One thing I will stress is that, like we already brought up, working together, because you're going to be placed in groups with people you don't know. Everybody was raised differently. Everybody, what might be neat to you, they, it's not even a they level expectation. Like, they might be the dirtiest person in the world. A stain on a uniform shirt is nothing to them. Or strings hanging off their buttons on your uniform. I advise everybody to get a lighter right now. Like, bring a lighter on the first day.
Lint roller.
So that you can burn.
Or fingernail clippers.
Whatever, so that you can keep those strings.
Rollers, watch,
all
pen,
that. All that.
watch the pen.
Yep.
And make sure, like, like, if you know something, like, something should be done, be the one in your group, or be the one that tell it to everybody. Don't be afraid to step up. And, you don't have to, I'm not saying, like, do that in front of the instructors, but do that in front of your class, you know what I'm saying? Be that low-key leader, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to put somebody on the point.
Yeah.
That's what I think I want. Just walk up to somebody, never put somebody on the lab. It's like that respecting, in the classroom, people too loud. Find your way, shut everybody up.
Also, like he was saying, look out for each other. What we mean, like he was saying, look over your partners, because in the morning, first thing you got to do inspection. So your uniform got to be right. Got to have the what's it called? Gig line. Their tie and everything. Also, make sure you got all your stuff with you. We had a guy on the first day left his tie, and we got in trouble for it. So if you can get extra, just in case one of your partners don't have one, you can be like, hey, I got one in my locker.
Pay attention to detail. I don't want to cut you off, but pay attention to detail.
Yep.
Like with everything they say, with everything they try to get you to learn. Pay attention to detail, because the thing that you may think is minute, it doesn't matter, matters the most to them, and they gonna point it out. Because I don't want to say it, but it's true. The moment you walk in there, you got a target on your back. They gonna be looking at you, so you got to make sure you stay on point at all times.
And keep in mind, always keep a positive attitude about it, because it may seem stupid and dumb to you, but the reason you have to pay such close to the details is because when you're in a fire, remember, we love the job is great, but at the end of the day, we really do put our lives on the line with this job. And every detail matters in a fire. You miss one thing and it can be your life or the guy behind you's life. So just keep that in mind. I think that'll help you have a better attitude when you get frustrated, because you're going to get frustrated with some of the stuff in training. Real quick.
No matter who does it, they find one little thing, everybody does it.
Real quick, while they're talking, or if you want to pause the talking for a minute to get some food, if anybody wants some, there's pizza up here, there's soda in the thing. If you guys want to grab some, whatever, go ahead.
It's all beef or sausage?
It's all different.
And the first one, Marcus.
I'm about to go there.
Like I said, look over each other, you know what I'm saying? That's just along with what I was saying, stepping up to somebody and saying, like, watch that, look for that. Because he said the smallest thing, they'll make a big thing out of it. The smallest thing. And even like, when they say paying attention to detail, when they walking you around and telling you these tools in this shed, these tools are in this closet, this is in this place, remember that. Because you'll be out there doing some training, they'll point you out, hey, go get this. What you said that shit? You don't want to ask them, you don't ask somebody else, why you taking so long? You get caught up, now you spend 30, 20 minutes trying to find out it's a hammer. I wasn't paying attention because the hammer's in this box, so it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's the smallest thing like that. And it's being able to walk a certain door. Don't go past this, don't go past that. It might take something like that, but it's just one of those things that's paying attention. And I advise when it comes to books, definitely reading material, because it makes that much more sense when you actually read it, opposed to just taking down notes from the PowerPoint in the class, you know what I'm saying? Study groups. Yeah, study groups, they encourage study groups. That's what I mean, group effort.
On Saturdays or whatever, your days off, get together, get a group together. Well, with us, they made us stay they wanted us to stay on our companies because of the COVID or whatever. I don't know if they're gonna do that with y'all or let y'all separate or whatever, but they wanted us to stay within our companies while we're there, like meet on Saturdays or Sundays, whenever y'all can, but do that for sure. Also, like during PT and stuff like that, when y'all doing, make sure y'all stick together. If some of y'all may not be in the same shape, greatest shape as others, slower than others, but make sure y'all stay together. Like, don't leave each other, wait for them, stay back, or whatever y'all gotta do, but just stay together.
Yeah, they pay attention to all that stuff. You might get company of the week, it's like a little award thing, you know, for a week, best company of the week. And smallest thing might be the difference of, well, this group stays together. They you know, they might look at the grades. Both of y'all might have the best averages for the companies. You know, most groups or whatever. But it'd be like the smallest thing. But when we had PT, this group stays together. They actually help that person up at the end. They help push him through to the top of the tower type deal like that. You know what I'm saying? So they pay attention to all that small stuff. And when I said the same thing earlier, that small thing, big things. You know what I'm saying? Helping each other out, coming back to teamwork.
So if you haven't figured it out, they're gonna give you guys more of a military style training. So any piece of lint on your clothes, they're gonna call you out on it. They're gonna stare at your shoes. They're gonna line you up, stare at your shoes. And they're going to see who has a scuff in their shoe, see whose shoe's not as shiny as the other person. So if somebody's really good at shining shoes and somebody comes with smudges on their shoes, help them out, show them how you shine your shoes, because again, you're individuals, but in this academy, you're a whole. It's not, well, I look good, it's no, we don't look good. So if somebody got lint on their shoulder, we all got lint on our shoulder, you know what I'm saying? So we all get punished. So that's where that anger comes in, because you're gonna get mad, because you're like, man, this dude keeps messing up. And if they see that you guys are getting mad and you're not, you know, meshing together, they're gonna keep poking and trying to pull you guys apart. The goal is to make sure you guys work together, all of you. So if anybody's, like I said, anybody's not stepping up, help them out, because they want to see that you work together. It's not about individuals. They know they're going to be looking at you as individuals anyway, but they need to make sure you can work as a team, because you don't go into fire by yourself. And if you did, you shouldn't, because that's called freelancing. They're going to talk to you guys about that as well. So just make sure that you guys are looking out for each other. You still can get fired, okay? They invested in you, but they didn't invest enough in you yet until they started getting sizes for uniforms. You still can get fired. So don't think that, oh man, I made it, because you're there, and don't let it go to waste, because you put in a lot of time to get to the point where you can actually be in that room with everybody else. Like Farmer said before he got off the phone, you guys were chosen. So don't take it for granted, and make sure that you put your best foot forward. So.
And remember, if you want to stand out by being a leader, not by being a star. You know, a star is somebody trying to shine alone, but when you're a leader, you're leading the team, you're helping the team, you're improving the team, and leadership is stand out.
And to piggyback on that shine your shoe thing, that depending on who you get, that's super important. So I would encourage you to go out and get one of those little quick shine pads, just in case you need to help somebody else out. But come to the training academy with your boots shine every single day. Every day.
6S tactical boots, you get a shine on them?
Yes.
Yeah, now they're gonna shine. Like when you first start out, it's gonna look kind of smudgy, but like over time, they're gonna sparkle.
But do not don't come there with those shoes. Try not to. Because
them now.
Yeah, because
yes.
I mean they're gonna be looking at that.
Does everybody have their uniforms and stuff yet, or ordered?
Yeah, I got ordered.
Okay, just in case you don't, You can go to the firefighters credit union. They will give you a loan that they payroll deduct. They'll start an account for you there and give you a loan they payroll deduct. Because that stuff is anywhere from $600 to $1,200. They do tell you that you have a year to get your Class A's, like the Big Sioux, which is half of that itself. That's like $600. You can get it right away, or you can wait a couple months and see who retires. If somebody who retires that wears your size, a lot of times they'll sell them for like half the price. So that is a way you can save some money if you want to wait. But if it gets about 6 months though, and you ain't found somebody, I'd start ordering the suit. Everything else you got to get right away.
You know, you at least have that receipt if you don't have it, just to show that you didn't pay for it. And one more thing too.
And y'all can
don't post anything on Facebook.
Yeah.
Stay away from it. When you get on, don't put anything about the fire department. Don't take any pictures in your car with your stuff on. Just leave it alone. That's
If you're gonna post a picture of you in your uniform, do it 2 days before you start. So your family can be proud like all your pictures. But once you start, say keep all that stuff on social media. Dre will tell you, we have people that would call up there because we had a lot of people who were related, like people's kids in our class, chief's kids, captain's kids, and their dad would sell them out. And he told me it's not that hard. So we come in, oh, it's not that hard. It's outside of the towers. And if somebody do something wrong, everybody pay. Because it's one team, one fight. Everybody pay. So keep it off social media. Understand. You guys can sit down, don't you? I just gotta keep standing up there. Understand that you are no longer Aaron Mims. You are Omaha firefighter Aaron Mims. So anything you do outside of this job is going to be amplified. If you see a guy at a gas station, he call you an N-word, and you punch him in the face, and they arrest you, you are now Omaha firefighter Aaron Mims, assaulted a man. They don't care what he did or what happened. All the news cares about is that you're an Omaha firefighter and you're acting crazy. So keep that in mind with social media, with family, friends, just your life in general. This is not a job. It's a career, but I want to say this loosely because it's not who you are. I mean, we're not firefighters. We are who we are, but it's way different than any other job you've ever had before. Like who you are and this job is really tied together. Chief.
You know, I'd just like to say one thing, and of course I'm losing my voice too. But the fire department is full of nepotism. And you don't know who you're talking to sometime in the fire station. It may be a father, it may be a son, his grandfather, his brother-in-law. So, you know, I know one of the classes told me that one of the chief officers told him in training, you shouldn't be here. You took the job of one of my relatives. That was the feeling. I don't know if that's still permeated in the fire department at this point or not.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
That's how some of the guys feel.
And they feel, not all, and there's a lot of great guys on this job. White, black, and whatever, there's a lot of great guys. I've had white guys call me, hey, can I join the black firefighters? I don't want to come to the meetings, I just want to pay dues to help you guys out. So there's some good brothers. But there are a lot that feel, like you said, my son should have got hired. Their son is the last person on the list, but he should have got hired over you because that's their son. Or they feel you got the job because they're trying to keep the black numbers up. Understand one thing, and you don't let nobody tell you anything different. Every single person on this list in this class earned their spot. The one thing about this chief, whether you like it or not, is he starts at number 1 and he works his way down. So everybody that got hired earned their spot here. Not because you black, not because you a woman, you earned your spot. Be confident in that and don't let anybody tell you anything different.
I'd like to comment on that too, is, you know, they lay out a criteria for the examination. And then at some point, they set a grade level as to where you have to be on the list. And everybody on that list is qualified, whether they're number 1 or whether they're number 10. They took the same test. You took the same test as the person ended up number 1. So don't let anybody tell me that you're not qualified.
They're gonna also rank you guys when you get in there if you already haven't received it yet. So you'll be your number, so I'm 1407. So they're gonna rank you and put you in order according to where you were ranked. That ranking it has some clout loosely depending on what it is that they're doing, but in class, that can be used devisively to separate you guys too, because there might be somebody that you may feel that you're better at something than they are, but they're ranked higher than you. And you gotta check your ego at the door because it's just a number. It doesn't really mean that much, but for, like I said, the purpose of what they're trying to do, which is divide you guys up, they're trying to pull you apart. It may seem like it's more than what it really is. So try your best just to keep checking your ego at the door and make sure you understand that you just need to make it through these 3 months. Okay? So don't hold on to anything. A lot of those guys are nice guys that are in there, but they're there because they're trying to shake the tree and see who's gonna fall. So like I said, that's why I said when you can still get fired. So just don't get complacent.
And remember, not yet though. That's how it is. It's so hard to work with. You want that promise, man. I said, we're afraid for it. Because you got any relation today with it, so you've been done. So, man, you know, I said, especially on the phone, because I'm going to make you later in the day, I texted him. I said, man, thank you so much for and he didn't even text me, he called me. Damn, that's what I'm talking about. I prayed for her and I prayed for you. I'm like, you. But I'm still like, you gotta catch on at some point. So I texted him again, like an hour later. I said, I don't know, what's in there? Like, she fired herself. I said, that's my wife. I said, we give up. And he was like, no, don't give up. You know, you got your kids. And I was like, man. And at first I laughed, but now I'm like, if I didn't begin there, like, got your back with the mix.
At some point, you gotta wonder if he's pulling the strings on you.
No, he's not. This is my blood cousin.
He said no.
This is my blood cousin.
No. That's fine.
But, and there's, y'all know there's soda down there too? I know I might be only fat boy in here, but there's like Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, strawberry, and Sprite down there. Well, while we're doing it, while you got a mouthful of food, does anybody have any questions?
Last. Birthday.
I would just bring it.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Right now, they're doing that focus on wearing masks, and some going on there. But,
Also, I would say be at least 30 minutes early.
oh yeah, definitely.
Man, not even at least, a minimum.
Yeah, minimum.
Because
And make sure everybody can show up.
Yeah, walk in there together.
At the same time.
yeah, we'll hit the door for everybody. Two things everybody tell you on the job, two things you get fired for. Lying and being late. So do not be late. Don't lie, take accountability if you mess up. If you mess up, ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Just take accountability for it, keep moving. But don't lie, do not be late. That's huge. Even to this day, I got my own station now, I still walk in ready to work. Like 9 times out of 10, I walk in my uniform on already, ready to go. If I don't, I go straight to my room, I make my bed, I throw my uniform, I'm out there. And even guys that have been on 20 years are like, you know, hey, just sit down, relax. And I'm just like, I am relaxed, but my mind frame is, I come in ready to go. So when you get there, be there, ready to go. John gave me some great advice when I first started. He said, treat every day like your first day. So when you come to work, treat every day like you're new and you're eager and you're ready to get to work and you're hungry. Because people, you're gonna hear it all day, but it really, really is the best job. I tell people, and they're gonna think I'm crazy, but if I hit the lottery tomorrow, I would still come to work. I wouldn't do 20 years, but I'd still do some years because I actually love my job. There's probably been 4 guys that I know of personally that are millionaires or run $1 million businesses that still come to work every single day. And if you got a guy that makes $1 million at his side job, and he still comes to work every day for $80,000, I mean, that's kind of tell you what kind of job it is. We also have a job where across the country, there's no other job, but there's more people who do this job for free. Most departments across the country are volunteer fire departments. Getting on a paid fire department is the equivalent to being drafted to the NFL or the NBA. It's actually a little hard based on numbers. It's a little hard. So you guys are in a part of an elite family, an elite brotherhood. So always keep that stuff in mind when you get irritated in training, because you will get irritated.
And it's gonna be hard. Like it's gonna be some days where you don't feel like you're yelling at you. You don't feel like running. You don't feel like routine, or you don't feel like doing whatever you gotta do. But I mean, just get through it, man. Because at the end of the day, it's worth it. Everything that you're gonna go through is worth it.
In the academy, you gotta put your lives aside for those 3 months, because you got 3 times the film test.
And somebody got fired last class for that.
One of those tests, if you don't have your EMT, they'll help you get it, but you gotta pass that registry. Let's just say you fail the
everybody
test
has
in the
it?
academy. That's 2 tests. You fail the EMT, that's 3. You're done. So you gotta keep up with that stuff.
And keep in mind, we want to get brothers hired on the job. That's what we do. But we want to keep brothers hired on the job. So if you're struggling with something, put the pride aside and reach out. We got guys that are medics. We got guys that have been on the job for years. Like, we got guys that we can put you in contact with somebody that'll be willing to help you. So, if you're struggling with something, don't wait till you get a bad name. Come to us and be like, hey, I'm struggling with putting my gear on. Man, we'll get together. Every brother in this room will work hard on our own time to make sure you guys succeed. That's how important this is to us. That's why everything we do for the Black Firefighters, we do for free. We volunteer our time because you guys are that important to us. So if you're struggling, or if you even worried about something, man, reach out to somebody, because that's what we're here for.
Especially if you struggle with that EMT test.
Yes.
Because they fired somebody last class, and the class before that, they fired somebody else. Eventually got a job back, but you don't want to go down that route. If you have any issues in the beginning with it, reach out. Let us know, let your training staff know, let somebody know, and they get you the resources to help you succeed. They're going to give you everything to succeed. It's up to you to follow through and make sure you do that work to pass that test.
Right, and like he said, we had a guy that did get fired that was, failing tests, but then he's on social media partying. You got to put that aside. This career, you're gonna be good at 25 to 30 years of your life. Again, with the best career in the world. If you can't put partying, women, drink, whatever, if you can't put that stuff aside for 3 months, you don't deserve to be here. Like that's really a you thing. That don't fall on nobody else but you if you can't put it aside. If you put it aside and you struggling, like I said, then reach out. And then one thing about that, we talked about how much your name is everything on this job. I don't know how many of you have kids, but like Chief said, this is a legacy job. This is a job where my dad's dad was a firefighter. My grandpa was a firefighter. My father was a firefighter. My son just applied for the next class. So I try to keep my name good, because when he comes in that interview, I want them saying, oh, another Gentry, you're hired. I don't want them saying, oh, another Gentry, and they check you off the list. Your name means everything. Everything on this job. You guys got guys in your class whose dads are retired captains or a captain on the job. A couple of them.
And they're gonna hire Larry Shack.
No, they don't.
Are they? He's three of them?
Yeah, I guess he ain't
They
like
said
it.
he's total out.
Younger or older?
Younger.
I'm living those.
But you know what, what's crazy is we're talking about it, and as soon as somebody said that name, the whole table was like,
See, that's what we talking about.
That's an apartment for a whole.
that's how it is. And the whole department's like that. I guarantee you, everybody in here are good brothers. So I'm just pointing these two out because I've seen it to the extreme. These two brothers, you mentioned Steve, you mentioned Dacus, the whole department gets a Woody. Like, they're like, dude, I swear to God, they're like, oh, Steve's a rock star. Dacus, oh man, Dacus ain't left 21
Since he first got
After your candidate here, you run. You go to different stations, which you get to see the city, whatever stuff. If you got a captain that'll be like, no, I want him to stay here, and the chief is like, okay, we'll give it, and all these stars align for you, and your captain cuts for you like that, you ain't moving. That's Dacus. Steve just got teed into a med unit. I work with Mindy. I work with her at a different station, and they look at the paperwork, and they're like, oh, we got Steve. I swear on my life, she almost did a backflip. Because they have great names, they have great work ethic. They try hard. If they don't, I mean, they're great assets to the team because you're living with these guys for 24 hours a day once you get to the station. So it matters. You want to say something?
I'm gonna have to go, but I just wanted to say, you guys are coming into a great organization. You're gonna get good training. One of the things that happened back in '61 when I came on the job, it was OJT. We didn't have any training. They give you your clothes, go to the station, this is a fire hydrant, this is how you turn it on, and this is what you do, this is where you ride, and you had to basically do most of the things on your own. The way we really got moving was that we learned that there was a black firefighter organization on a national basis. And we sent a guy to Detroit to one of the conferences. And we learned so much there that we tried to stay together from then on. That's how we were able to move up. When I came on, it's just great to see all you guys. When I came on the job, there was 19 black firefighters. And they had been in one station for basically 62 years. Now you guys can go to any station. And one of the things I like to tell the young firefighters, don't just ride on the back of that truck. Stay in those manuals, stay in school, get your degrees, and be able to move up through the organization. One of the things that helped me was that as integration, I came 7 years after the department integrated. And I was able to get assigned to training, and that was basically the best thing that ever happened to me, because I was able to be there when any innovations came within the fire department. I got to know all of the guys on all three shifts, and one of the things, if you can do, this is, and I don't want to get political, is if you can get an ally at some point in a department, don't be afraid to use that ally. And if you can get it in City Hall, more power to you. That's the way to move up in this department. As when you get to after the rank of captain, I think it's going to all be politics. It's all political bullshit, really. And I hate to use that word. That's how it is. And guys, take care. Young guys keep paying that money into the pension like old farts like me. They can live a long time. I'm basically, I'm 84 years old now, and I'm enjoying it. I've been retired in December 21 years. And anytime that you guys want to talk about, you know, the fire department, how guys were before, I stood on the backs of some guys that didn't have a chance. You guys are going to stand out there, and there's going to be people coming behind you, going to be looking. And if you guys screw up, you're going to make it hard for them. So, take care, guys.
And guys, before he leaves, I just want to let you guys know, just to let you know how historic it is for him to be here. There's a bunch of chiefs. There's battalion chiefs, assistant chiefs, all that stuff. There's one big chief. He's the first and the only African-American person to ever be big chief. So, I mean, we say that. So he's a big
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Appreciate it.
You'd be all right if you had a chance to get a roll. Okay, guys, take care.
Thank you, Chief. Go ahead.
Can you go over, the day, what a day consists of? When you come in as a candidate, and then when you go into your actual station, can you cover?
Well, you're also a candidate, even when you go to the actual station. That's why if you notice Julius, when he said introduced himself, he said soon to be firefighter. Because technically, you're a candidate until you're confirmed. So that's after training, after that first year, then you're technically a firefighter. So right now, yeah, you'll refer to yourself as candidate so-and-so or PFC so-and-so. But basically, like for us, actually I'll let these guys, we'll let them do most of the talking because we're old now, we got a lot of smoke now. And they're a bit younger, so they went through it sooner. And it does change with each different people.
One thing that does not change, show up to work 30 minutes before your shift. Show up at 6:30. Be at the station at 6:30 until you're not a candidate anymore. At least 6:30.
Even when you're not a candidate anymore, I don't show up.
Well, at downtown, if you get assigned downtown, you gotta be there at 6.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to do downtown, especially if you buy yourself. But I actually thought I would focus on that right now, because right now you gotta go to the academy.
Yeah, but even in the academy, show up 30 minutes early.
Show up early, make sure you do the house on time, they don't care if it
Traffic, none of that.
wheel, tire, go flat, anything, they want you to have enough time to be able to change that thing so get done.
If it's 10 inches of snow on the ground, they don't care.
They don't care.
There ain't no snow
You
days.
better,
If your car ain't the best, carpool.
Yeah. Do not, you can't call in. This is the first the first year in however many months, weeks the academy is, there is no calling in. There's no, I'm sick, my
People
daughter's
rearrange
sick, whatever.
their weddings and honeymoons
Yeah.
because of the academy.
Yeah.
You have to be there every single day, ready to work early. Don't be late. Don't give them an excuse to put anything on your name. Be there.
Even if you feel like they're trying to fail you, these guys want you back.
But they want to push you because, like I said, when you get a fire, man, hopefully everything runs smooth. 9.999 out of 10 is easy, smooth, you get out of there. But if something goes wrong, you gotta have that dog in you. So they want to make sure you got it. Another thing too, protect yourself as much as you can with the mask. And if you're vaccinated, I'm not telling people to get vaccinated. What to do is your choice. Until they say mandated, it's your choice. But do whatever you have to do to protect yourself. Because the last thing you want to do is have a breakout happen in your class, and now your class is on hold or something happens because of Corona.
And then your whole class will be graduating, you still in the academy, you still got stuff to do, and they all doing it in the station.
well, we had a couple like that because we were ignoring the COVID. We had a couple people that broke out with it. And the whole company had to leave, so like half of our academy class was like gone for 10 days or whatever.
How
We
many
had
are
like 3
companies?
breakouts.
I know y'all keep saying like you split into companies. How many people are in like a company?
4 to 5. Or 4, yeah, depending on.
Depends how big your class is.
Yeah.
We had 6, one group had 7.
Yes.
But the premise behind it is, on each truck, there's 4 guys. There's a captain, there's a driver, and there's 2 firefighters in the back. So in our class, we had 4 people in each company, because it's basically a mimic of what you're gonna be out there. So I mean, but it doesn't really matter how many people are in each company, you still got everybody the same. Everybody's the same. Everybody, you gotta look after it. Everybody in that company has to look the same. Everybody in the company has to, I mean, it's hard to get everybody to work as hard, but somebody has to be that person to try to get everybody in that company to work together just as hard, so everything, like he said, runs smooth.
Does anybody have any volunteer or any type of firefighter EMT experience at all? Okay, I just asked that because you come here, there's the OFD way. Don't be the guy that, you always have a whole bunch of guys, and there's a bunch of dispatchers that came from Bellevue and places like that'll come in and act like they know everything. Use them as a resource if they're trying to offer advice and help. But by the same token, understand that Omaha has their way to do it, and a lot of times they prefer people who don't have experience so that you can be trained the Omaha way. So if you have prior experience, don't go in there like you have prior experience.
Yeah, be teachable.
If you have a family member on the job, they're gonna know that's your grandfather. Don't go in there with your grandfather's number. Don't go in there like, I know somebody's my grandfather. You go in there same level as everybody else, because you will see people who do that.
Yeah, every class is a lot of people who live off the name, the last name. So my class, I didn't realize how many people actually had family members on there. It was about 13 or 14 people who had family on the job. And I'm a first generation, most like most of us out here. And it's different because they know what the process is, so they already know like what the end goal is and how they gotta get there. That doesn't change the fact that you're still in the academy. Don't follow their lead in that aspect. Make sure you stay the course and get through it the way you're supposed to. Don't ever start slacking because they're waiting for you to. They'll dangle the carrot. You're like, oh man, they kind of chill. All right, man, I'm gonna chill. And all of a sudden you go in there and they just go bam. They're like, oh, y'all was out here doing this, and that. I saw y'all was doing this, and all of a sudden y'all think y'all made it now, and then y'all gonna get hit right in the mouth.
And even when you think somebody's not looking,
I was just about to bring it
they
up.
always they always looking.
We went to the 911 center to listen to 911 calls. That's what I think you're talking about. But I ain't gonna tell them who the guy was.
I'm about to leave.
Don't say his name.
I'm about to leave.
We're sitting there. We get back. Everything was smooth. Everything's fine.
Let me tell my side before he goes. All right.
What are you gonna say?
It's so crazy. All right. Like you said, we're going to the 911 center. It's a super hot day. We had PT in the morning, whatever. We going to the center. Everybody's jumping in cars, and they. I'm with Captain Jason Bradley. I'm in the front. I don't know how I got in the front, but I was in the front. There's 3 guys in the back. He blasting the air, like blasting the air conditioning in my face, blasting it. And I'm sitting here like this on my way, and my eyes closed. I'm like, I opened them up because I thought that I heard something. I was like, damn, I'm tripping. So I'm riding. I close my eyes again. I hear a click, and I look over, and he's just looking forward. So long story short, we go there, we do what we're supposed to do. We come back to the training center. Everybody get in the classroom. And you get in the classroom, turn the lights off, and they bring the projection screen down. They turn on the projector, and you can see a figure, but nobody knows what it is, not even me. The fucking projector is clear as fucking day, and it's me. It's me with my eyes closed. My eyes was closed for, I shit you not, a half a second, and that's no lie. Because I can't go to sleep because he's sitting right here. But my eyes was closed for a half a second. And he's taking pictures of me with his phone. What I heard was his fucking shutter. His shutter on his phone. So he taking pictures of me. We get there, man, this is the most embarrassing shit, like, that didn't happen, like, no lie. So, they start yelling, they yelling.
You sleepy, man?
They yelling. So after they yell at us, we gotta go outside of the tower, we gotta go run towers. Y'all gonna get very familiar with that. Somebody came up with, let's let everybody else run towers. They brought out a bed for me. They brought out a bed that was in the tower that we used for searching. They brought out a bed, and they put a mattress on there, and they told me to lay down. Luckily, I had...
And watch us run it.
Yeah, and watch them run. But luckily, I had we had a drill master who was, in my opinion, the best guy that I've met on this job. White dude. The best guy that I've met on this job, and that's no lie.
He was the drill master, so he opened the whole thing, so he convinced them, not to let me do that shit or whatever, but I say that to say this. They are always watching. I wasn't the only one to get caught. There was a whole company, after a burn, they are behind the dragger, they all sitting down while everybody else is working. They sitting down, they chilling, they doing whatever. This motherfucker is on top of the dragger, taking pictures of them, do the same thing to them.
Call them the poop troop.
Yeah. So
They disappeared.
just know they always looking. Do not let your guard down because.
And they always gonna call you out.
And they
ain't gonna be no thing where
they
like,
ain't gonna
if
miss
I
it.
see you, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, pull your side head, bro, don't let them see you do.
Nah.
Ain't none of
They
that.
ain't gonna miss the opportunity to call you out.
They call you out.
So stay on your toes, man, at all times.
Whenever you hit towers, at the very top, you yell out PFC, and give your name and your number. Make sure that you heard every time. They might be down there talking, you might see them talking, but they listening to hear everybody. And they're gonna count each time they don't hear their name. They're gonna make you run and talk and go. You might be down, you might see them laughing and talking, but they listen. At least one of them listening. Every time they catch somebody that's not loud enough, you gonna make up for it. And he's gonna be there.
He's very intelligent.
They're up on that tower, you know how he got there, he's in the top, he's waiting.
No, yeah.
Ghost, and now we're on the platform.
Julius, he specifically asked about what the day is like. Julius, you wanna go over what the day?
For
Show like the first day.
We first get there, you'll get assigned to lockers. A lot of people, some people came dressed in their stuff, some people left their stuff in their lockers. You get there, you go to your locker, change as fast as you can, because you got to be in formation in the Bay Area at 7 o'clock. So, or was it 7:30? 7:30. You be in there at 7:30 in the formation, and then after that, we usually went up to the classroom, or it depends on how the instructors want to go about the day. Sometimes you do PT in the morning. Sometimes you just go straight up into the classroom and start your learning.
I will say, know your mission statement.
Oh yeah, mission statement. Yep.
Learn everybody how to know it. Because if you don't.
It's on the website, right?
Yes, on the website, or you can get it in a piece of paper or something.
Yeah, they'll give it to you.
Yeah.
And mission statement. Yeah, you do that after formation. They'll do a uniform inspection, and then you do or that pledge of allegiance and mission statement.
You gotta learn that.
Learn that.
In uniform, everything.
Honor,
Buttons
honor,
on your
integrity.
shirt gotta be in line with the side of the belt buckle, to line with the zipper fly.
Yeah.
Like, detail. That's what we're talking about.
One of you guys was in the military, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do turn and stuff too.
You're gonna be a leader.
Yeah, you be a leader because you're gonna be used to a lot of it. Also, there's a guy in your class who couldn't make it today, Tradell Berry. Tradell's been on Lincoln. He's on Lincoln right now. He quit Lincoln to come here. He was on Bellevue. His dad was on the job. Super good brother, and he knows the game. So also lean on Tradell. These guys that have this experience, lean on them. Military experience, like I said, Tradell's experience. Take advantage of that stuff.
They're gonna end up, when they find out about your background, they already gonna know, but they're gonna put you in charge of boots. They're gonna put you, make sure like everybody, they're gonna put that on you.
Learning how to about face and turn and all that stuff.
So expect that to happen.
No earrings,
Cologne, no cologne.
Robert Wesley messed up the Apple Watches, so your Apple Watch in your locker. Yeah, no
I would
cologne.
suggest wear your Apple Watch anyway, just go to Walmart and get a cheap ass watch. And wear it, cheap enough, buy it.
The only thing I gotta say from here is you can take the blood pressure off.
Yeah, all good point. Make sure it has a second hand, either whether it counts it or it clicks, because you'll be doing blood pressures and things like that in class too. Good point, Jerry.
So the first week is basically just getting introduced to the fire department, and Julie's touching that a bit too. You're gonna be going through a lot of paperwork. You're gonna forget a lot of it because it's gonna happen so fast. You're gonna meet a lot of people, hear a lot of stories. So that first week is just, it's gonna feel surreal for a while. And And after that, the next week is gonna be down to business. They might get to you the first day. My class, we technically, my class was known as the best class that OFD's ever had. But, you know what I'm saying, I mean, we'll see what y'all do.
That was that trainer's first class. I will say this though too, you're gonna have guys coming in all the time with their hand out trying to get money from you. Well, hey, join the union. Hey, do this or do that. Two things you want to do one thing you want to do for sure is join the union.
Join the union.
Our union is strong, and if you ain't a union member, you are alienated from jump. You got houses that won't let you eat with them. I mean, and they're the ones that get us our benefits and fight for that stuff, and they get able to do that by the numbers we have. So it is important, even though it seems expensive. Second thing, and this is something small, I just like to point out to people because it is small, so people might be like, oh, I don't need that. If they offer you a brick at the Firefighters Memorial, get the brick. It's like $100 or something like that. 50 bucks.
I think it's $100, 20 to paycheck or something.
Yes, it's $100 or less. And what it is that firefighter memorial that's down by the river, it's a big memorial. They put the bricks, red bricks around it, and it has your name and your start date in the brick. It's gonna be there forever. You know, I've taken my kids there. My kids think it's the coolest thing in the world. That your dad is on a brick, and I mean, so it's cheap. They're gonna be taking so much money from you. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't need to do that. Do it. It's worth it, and it's something your children's children will see forever.
And another thing that's what the bricks look like.
And it lines the firefighter memorial.
Another thing I would recommend is they don't come with like a retirement. They still do that. They come in and give you the option to start a retirement fund.
Did they have that for us? The IMG, it's not IMG.
It's
Boyer. It was Boyer. I would recommend putting some money aside for retirement. I know your first day you're not thinking about retirement, but
Especially since you have a pension.
yeah, but this shit go fast. Like it go fast.
And what I did is I started with just $25 a paycheck, and then every time we got a raise, I raised it $25. So I started small. I might have like 30 grand in there right now, but so it's not a lot of money. But as time goes and it compounds, it's just another check for you to have.
Yeah, because y'all probably gonna end up right now. Y'all gonna be there for 30 years. So you think about it. You putting that little money away every single paycheck for 30 years. When you do retire, you're gonna have a nice little nest egg over here to do whatever you want with it, and that's aside from your pension. So I would suggest that, but everything else like helmet club and all that shit, like
It's a choice.
if you don't want to do that, you don't have to.
I signed up for helmet club. I ain't been.
I'm about to stop giving them my money.
I always feel the same thing. That was like,
Yeah, I ain't never been to them.
I ain't been to one either.
Nothing.
But
I go, they don't, sidebar, they never fucking announce what's going on.
Yeah.
Like a fucking camera was speaking.
So like,
There's a what?
Camera, like,
I see, I see,
like that.
I see.
Yes,
I knew I was that was waiting.
That's that.
For real, seriously. So
Yes, I don't feel obligated to get in everything, but definitely the union.
union,
I definitely
for
would
sure.
agree.
Union for sure, brick and boy.
There's 3 members on the job right now that are not part of the union.
There's 300.
Out of like 700.
what's the reason why they ain't doing it?
Oh, they screwed me on something that most of it was bogus. They just got mad about something.
Yeah. The latest one was unhappy with Steve's conduct. Steve was
Oh, that was
Norman Bates.
Who's the other two? I knew South Dakota was one.
So, yeah, I can't think of it.
But yeah, get on the union, man. It's worth it. They the reason that you getting paid, the reason that you getting paid. So.
And again, right now, when we started, there was a big thing with the pension being short. They had just put the pension to where there was 3 pensions. Guys who've been on like at least 15 years, the next group of guys, and the guys that were gonna come on. So even though we're on the same list, we got different pensions. My class was, you work 25 years, you get 75% of your pay when you retire. The next class, which is you guys also, you work 30 years, you get 65% of your pay. So you lost pay, work longer. But this ain't a job you do for 30 years.
Yeah, but don't, and you're gonna hear people, try to pit tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 against each other. Don't listen to all that shit, man, because at the end of the day, it's gonna change.
Yeah,
Like,
and,
it's
and
not,
the,
it's
and the
not
pension
gonna-
is getting better now as it speaks. So as it gets better, we don't wanna come down to y'all. We wanna bring y'all back up to us. This ain't a job we do for 30 years.
The way that it is now is not the way that it's gonna be when y'all get ready to retire when it really matters. So you're gonna hear people try to pit tier 2 and tier 3 against each other, and you got this, we don't got this. Don't listen to none of that shit, because honestly, right now, it don't make sense.
I know I'm really mad about it, but yeah, try to attend the union meetings.
No, you need to. First year, you need to attend every one.
Because those are, they're the ones that sit there and they're voting, and for these certain tiers, so if we can all get the same tier, we're part of that. Right now, we guys, like myself, we're screwed, like, I think we got.
For now.
Yeah,
For now.
But that's what I'm saying, we gotta get out and vote, and we can change that, 'cause I'm older. So I can't do 25. You know, for somebody like me, if I wasn't a tier 1, tier 2 guy, it would be different there. Yeah, okay.
Oh, he can't.
He said, no.
And look at the gym every day, so
They don't have the special wings.
You know, captain is 4'10s or 5'8s?
Last I heard was 5'8". And that'll be up to them to change, but it's the same crew, so I would expect the same thing. Yeah, and if, let's say something does happen, you get pulled over by the police, or you get into it with your girlfriend, it's called cops on you, don't let them find out. You go to them. Don't let them discover it. You go there, whoever